Peace, everybody. This is Marwan. This is Divine. We have this podcast going on, and today we're talking about spirituality, life after death, why do good people die, and what is death itself? You know, and I have various philosophies dealing with death and life, and I want Divine to start it off. What do you think life and death is, and why do people die? And why do good people particularly die first? Like, why do they die before, like, wicked people?
You know what, honestly, I'm not sure, but, you know, I'm recently going through some deaths in my family, and I just... I really don't know, honestly, but, you know, it really does anger me just to see people wasting their lives and not using their full potential, and then, you know, the universe or whatever takes away, like, someone who was so appreciative of every moment of life. So it's just, it seems so unfair, and I'm dealing with feelings of anger and hurt and just confusion, so... I thought it would be best to do a podcast on, like, what we thought the afterlife held and just, you know, what we think about life.
Do you think there's a limit to our enjoyment? Like, when some people enjoy life, experience so much so soon, do you think their time is ran out if they fulfilled their purpose at an early age? Like, we have a limit. Like, once you reach that limit, it's time to die.
But, do you believe that?
I'm just asking you, like, it seems to be, you say you don't see, you don't like people wasting their life. It seems the ones who waste their life live the longest. Like, it seems like they must know if they did what they supposed to did, they would have had to die. So they want to hold off for doing what they supposed to do so they can live longer.
So you think, in a sense, the faster we find our purpose, the faster we contribute to society,
the sooner we die.
Yeah, like, and so we leave this life.
Right.
And we go do our work on another,
right, you
another life.
You ascend to a higher plane. We'll see like people like Tupac, people like Jesus, they died young, but Martin Luther King, he died in his 30s, like 36 or something.
Right.
But they did so much greatness. It seems like it was nothing left for them to do.
The good die young.
Right. Once you have affected so many people, it's like once you got this particular image, the Most High don't want you to damage that image, because you could deviate from that. So you're gonna die at your best.
But what about all the people that you could be helping with who you are?
But you probably did that already. You probably did the maximum good, and you're gonna die at that pinnacle, as opposed to you falling, deviating. Because if you fall, you're gonna bring all the people you lifted up with you down. If they see you deviate. So it's best for you to die.
I'm saying, you think Martin Luther King had fulfilled his thing?
Yes.
His dream was, but he literally died as soon as he talked about his dream.
But he actually uplifted millions of people. If he would have deviated, if they would have knew the dirt he did, he would have drug all those people to the ground. So it was best for him to die at his best.
And what about Malcolm Little?
Malcolm X, same thing. He died at his best, in his prime. It's like when you die at your prime. When you die at perfection, you become like a god. It's like you're undestructible.
That's like your final form.
Right, and they can never destroy that form. They can never say you failed, you deviated, you got corrupted. You're a perfect image. It's like you look at the Egyptian gods; they froze.
So basically, as soon as we kind of hit the epitome,
pinnacle.
Yeah, the pinnacle of our lives. Do you think that it's time for us to go?
I think it's best for you to go at that point.
I don't know if I can really rock with that.
Because usually when you get to so much good, it's distasteful. You desire something worse or negative, and you might see that person that was at that high level fall down and become a vagabond criminal. And everybody that believed in that person will give up hope. See what I'm saying? So it's best for that person who's a lowlife to never ascend. See what I'm saying? Or it's best for the person that's a lowlife to ascend and then fall. wonder if it's recording. This shouldn't happen.
What happened?
It's still recording. It's just the screen just
Went to sleep.
saving while we record.
Well, I mean, honestly, like, I would love to believe that, but I just don't feel like I can because, like, it just doesn't. And I hate to say it, it just doesn't sit right with me. Like, it doesn't convince me or make me feel better on why my family is gone. Like, I would argue, like, I had so much more to learn from them, and you know, like, it was too soon. Like, but that might be a selfish statement because I and no one really knows what happens in the afterworld. So, you know, he said something very important earlier to me, and he was just like, you know, maybe they ain't suffering no more. And I thought about my godmom. And she had her leg amputated, and my father didn't want her to do the operation because a friend of his had died soon after. And so she literally went to the hospital for a UTI. And, you know, she was fighting cancer, and, you know, she died 2 days later. So, it just doesn't explain enough, you know, for me to say, like, oh, you know, their time was up here. You know, it's just not fair. But
say for instance, we're on a higher intellect and we understand life and death and what the spirit is. Wouldn't you rather have a fresh new body in a fresh and a better environment or a different environment than to dwell in this diseased body? If you knew that the soul was immortal, indestructible, and you knew that you could come to another body, like in the ancient Egyptian philosophy, they believed that the soul reincarnated for eternity until it fulfilled its purpose. And once it fulfilled its purpose,
with the Egyptian, why did they build you with so much gold? Didn't they mummify the bodies? Like, what was that ritual about?
And they buried the gold.
Now my question is, you know, I had thought of a joke, like, when we die, we probably go to heaven with the same amount of money in our bank accounts, right? And so
that's what they believe.
Right, and so, like, I probably would go to heaven with, like, fucking $1.85.
They actually believe that it was a spiritual counterpart to everything that's physical. So when you buried a person with gold, they was gonna have that in the hereafter. I'm like, what you gonna do with it though? What you gonna do with gold when you dead? So, you know, it was a selfish aspect to their culture. But I'm saying they believe that everybody had a purpose to fulfill as a soul, and you will always inhabit a different body forever until you finally fulfill what your purpose was, before you can ascend to a higher level. So from that perspective, this body that we living in now is irrelevant, because when you die, if you're suffering, whatever, you know you got another body to get to. Or you could just ascend to a higher level if you fulfilled your purpose, though. But
right.
death is not necessarily the end, because energy don't really die; it just change to a different form.
And you know what? Like, have you seen the movie Interstellar?
Never.
Okay, the movie Interstellar is so beautiful because it talks about space, and it talks about, you know, how they're astronauts, and, you know, just the times, like how, like, you know, they went to, like, Mars or some shit, and they was like, oh well, shit, like, well, like, what's the time on Earth? Well, a day is like a year, you know, in March, like in Mars or some shit, like, you know, with the difference. And, you know, she had to figure out a code, and her dad had put the code in a memory through a watch, and he went through time, like, he went through the dimensions to do that. And so he also, like, he wasn't there, but, like, he was in another dimension talking to her. And, like, I just thought it was so beautiful. And, like, it really talks about the flower of life, you know, just transcendence and stuff like that. And so the more I read that, like, that kind of sits better with me. Like, physics and just matter and atoms sit better with me because I can understand that.
Time travel, the soul can travel time.
Like, you know how a lot of conscientious people talk about astral travel? So, you know, I've astral traveled before, and I do believe it's real, and I do believe you have to have a certain mental capacity in order to understand it. But on the same chord, you know, I mean...
But let me ask you this question, though. what exactly is astral traveling? Is that the body or is that the spirit, the mind leaving? Like, is it a separation?
Well, basically,
from the physical
basically,
and the spiritual?
to me, everything is a fixation of your mind. You know, your entire life is laid out by your mentality. You know, thoughts become things. Like, your life is set up the way it is because of how you think. So our most powerful, you know, weapon is our mind. That's why, you know, like our nervous system, you know, like your mind tells your body what to do. If your mind ain't right, everything falls apart. So, you know, like I've seen people bend spoons, you know, the monks walk on fire. They can create fire with their fucking minds. Why? Because they work that muscle so fucking much, right? You know, a lot of Americans, you know, don't think about like, you know, just psychology and psychics, and you know they kind of like, you know, think it's like voodoo and like, you know, just they associate with bad things. But other countries, Asians, all those type of stuff are so deep in fucking spirituality, and they show you what you can do with your mind.
But is it a separation?
What do you mean? Of course.
Like when you astral project, do you literally leave the flesh?
Yeah. Like,
do you free yourself from the flesh?
Yeah, like your soul, your energy is literally like gone. Like, you know, you do it like while you're asleep. And you know how people be like, oh, this is a video game, you know what I'm saying? Like every day, you know, it's a different thing, right? And so it's like so many movies like play around with like what the idea of like what life really is, right? So my thing is just like, you know, I'm not going to sit up here and act like I know everything, right? You know, I just believe, you know, what I read and, like, what really sits right with me, right? So I really don't know, you know, what really happens after our physical body, you know, no longer stops working. Because even after we die, we still grow. Our fingers still grow. Our hair still grow. You know what I'm saying? When I die, I'm probably going to have a beard and shit like that. But
the body will decompose.
The body would decompose, but the soul, that's what I'm saying. Energy never dies, right?
Where is the soul in the body after it dies? You know what to die is to separate, to cut. Like the dice something, you cut something.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying in the scripture it say the person gave up the ghost. Meaning the spirit separated from the flesh. When you die, you basically separate the two parts. But I'm saying, what happens when you dream?
But that's what I'm saying. That's when you astral travel, when you dream. So
where do you go?
Wherever. You can control your dream. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying with lucid. What about lucid dreaming?
Are those realities real or are they imagination?
Is this imagination?
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Like the mind doesn't really differentiate between this and that.
It does. If you work on it hard enough.
When you dream and you forget about this. You think that life that you living in is you.
You don't remember your dreams?
I remember them, but I'm saying while I'm dreaming, I don't really focus on this. I think that's it. I had a dream once, and I'll live for like years. This one dream, it lasted for years.
So my friend, my guy's on his way. Is he able to just sit in and watch us?
Where is he at?
This is my roommate.
Where is
he? He's leaving. Like, he gonna be here in like 40 minutes.
Oh. I'm
just saying, okay, because we finna get deep. So I just want to make sure, you know, that he's comfortable. You know, he wants to meet you and stuff. You know, he loves meeting new people that I know. So I told him that, you know, you're a wonderful man and stuff like that. So you know, I would just like for you to say hi. Okay. So because we're gonna really be doing stuff now. Now that I know you can record and that Jordan Peele thing. Oh, we finna get it. Oh, anyway, I'm sorry. Okay. My thing is you know, so many people like to, you know, take stabs at spirituality, and, you know, I don't really talk to a lot of Christians. You know, do you talk to a lot of Christians about the afterlife?
Yeah, Christianity is all about the afterlife. What do you call it? The rapture. You know, in the book of Revelations, when heaven is established on earth, and all the spirits will be resurrected and judged. Spiritual things, physical things.
Have you seen that religious? Okay. So can we talk about that number? You know, in the Jehovah's Witness Bible, what is it, like 144,000? That's in
the King James Bible too. It's gonna be 144,000 of the saints, the 12 tribes of Israel.
Oh shit! Wait a minute. Earlier.
It's gonna be 12. It's gonna be 12,000 of each tribe: Judah, Dan, Gad, Issachar. What else? Ephraim. Reuben,
And,
all the
plus,
tribes.
hold on. He always thinks I argue about social issues and don't do nothing with it. This is literally him seeing me talk about educational stuff. So we finna really get into it.
It's going to be 144,000 of the 12 tribes of Israel.
So
it's going to be a great multitude.
So but do you believe that? Do you believe that? You believe only 144,000 are gonna go?
No. 144,000 of the elect is going to be the leaders, but it's going to be millions of others. The great multitude is going to be with them. The 144,000 is going to be the leaders.
But those are the only ones going to heaven, right?
No.
That,
what's going to happen? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen.
That's what Jehovah's Witnesses believe. I swear.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen.
Hold on, pause.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen.
Can you pause it?
You can't pause.
Okay, keep on.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. So, before the destruction happens, the righteous is going to be separated. It's that all those who have the mark of God on their forehead is going to be separated, and they're going to be spared from the destruction. So there's going to be millions of people. They're going to be free from all this annihilation. Then those who have the mark of the beast, either on their right hand or on their forehead, is going to be tormented for 5 months without being able to die. They're going to go through all that destruction. There's going to be millions of people. But the 144,000 is only the 12 tribes of the elect that's going to be the leaders. There's also going to be like millions of other people following them. See what I'm saying? It's not going to be just 144,000. It's 144,000, meaning it's the 12 tribes times 12,000 people. It's going to be the heads and the leaders.
But so where are those people picked from?
They're going to be picked based on if they have the mark of God on them.
And what is the mark of God?
See that's the key.
The mark of the beast?
I'm glad you said that.
The mark of the beast?
I'm glad you said that.
What is the mark of the beast?
I'm going to tell you what the mark of God is. So in the book of Ezekiel, Ezekiel was shown things by this angel. They was invisible. I'm going to show you what's really going on. He said, look through this hole. They pretend they following God, but I'm going to show you what they're really doing. He showed them all the abominations. Then he told Ezekiel, he said, get 5 men with the sword and get 1 man with the scribe, right? He told Ezekiel, he said, tell that 1 man with the pen to go through the town and mark everybody that hate this evil. He said, mark everybody that got problems with this wickedness.
Mark everybody like how?
Mark them with the pen.
With the pen? They didn't have pens back then.
But he put a mark on them. So he said,
but that's what I'm saying, that's like these fucking fairy tales. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He said he marked everybody with that hated the evil. So he said, all right, send the 5 men with the sword to kill everybody that don't got that mark.
This is in Ezekiel?
Yeah. See, the ones who love the wickedness, they have the mark of the beast. The ones who hate the wickedness, they got the mark of God. Also,
have you seen Bird Box?
Never.
Okay, Bird Box, a lot of people are depicting, the meaning behind this movie. And so I believe that they're demons, and I believe that they're entities and spirits because, they're in the wind, you can feel them. Just how we can feel energy. And a lot of people, are confusing it with, monsters and stuff like that. When that white guy was upstairs and he put out all those pictures of the demons that he saw, a lot of people don't talk about spirituality. A lot of people don't talk about, negative spirits. They think we're the only ones occupying the earth. And, that's why I'm not really too into religion because they don't really talk about no shit that I'm a face.
See, in Islam, we, according to the scripture, we share this world with the jinn. They just made a higher element, so we can't see.
What is the jinn? I think I've heard of that before.
The jinn are beings that's made of smokeless fire.
What?
They have free will. Satan was a jinn.
Oh.
And I think a third of them was cast to heaven.
So a friend of mine. A friend of mine is very spiritual, and he's a violinist, and so he literally told me he was, in part of an exorcism, and I was so fucking shocked. I'm sorry to curse. I was so shocked, right? But I was wildly interested and intrigued, right? And so my thing is just, do you believe in exorcisms? Do you believe people can be possessed?
According to the Bible, Jesus was performing exorcisms. He was casting demons out of people. There was one situation, a man had a multitude of demons on him. And Jesus cast them. They say we are legion. We are many. And Jesus cast them out. But they say before you cast us out, put us in that swine. Put us in the body. They wanted to go to a body. So Jesus cast
You
them
know,
into the swine,
yeah. See, you know, that's what I was
and they
saying.
jumped into the cliff.
The swine?
Because the
Pigs?
pig didn't want them. The pigs killed themselves. They didn't want them demons.
Really?
But according to what's going on,
Hold on, the pigs killed themselves? In the movie,
yeah, they jumped over the cliff.
No, in the movie, everybody's suicidal, and like that's what I'm saying. Like you have to wear blindfolds. If you look at like whatever the world is, then you immediately want to kill yourself.
So the pigs jumped over the cliff after Jesus
Wow.
cast the swine into the demons into the swine.
You got a pen? Let me write this down because you know, like do you have Netflix?
Yeah, it's over there.
Okay, you need to watch. You need to. Oh, why you cleaned up? Oh, thank you. You know, it looks so nice. Okay, like my thing is just like you need to watch that movie because like it is such a hot movie right now. Like and everybody is good. Like it's so spiritual. And like I'm telling you,
it's called what?
It's called Bird Box. And so basically, like you know, and we should do a podcast on that because like it is literally the hottest movie out right now. And like everyone's trying to depict like what the monsters were. Like you basically have to board up all the windows and you can't see. Like if you look at it, you immediately want to kill yourself. And we didn't know the audience didn't know like what was out there until this crazy man like basically the criminally insane and the mental people weren't affected. They literally were walking out killing people. Like forcing them to watch it like, oh, it's beautiful, right? And so my thing is, why weren't the criminally insane affected? Or like, don't you know people like Ted Bundy and shit, like sick criminals who are like evil? Maybe that's why they're not affected because they already live with the demons.
Right. What happens is when people study witchcraft.
Oh, I do voodoo.
See, King Solomon wrote a book. It's called the Grand Grimoire.
I do voodoo, so.
And Solomon said he teaching you how to summon up Satan, Lucifer, how to actually control the demons.
What's up, Lucifer?
He say this, right? He say that what the demons want most out of anything else, they want the body. They want to enjoy the world because they don't have access. They can look at the world, but they can't really experience it because they don't have a body. So they'll trade you whatever wish you want in exchange.
So people can be possessed.
But you actually agree. It's a contract you make with the demons. They're going to give you whatever wish you want, like the genie.
The demons or the devil?
The demon. They all the same.
Why are they all the same?
Because they jinn. Lucifer is the chief.
So are all angels the same?
Right.
They can't.
You got one that's chief. Like Michael is the chief, but you got other ones that's not the chief. That's followers. That's the lieutenants. But what happened is.
So my thing is, how do they lure bodies? How do they find souls? Like
what happens is this.
People, negative energy.
What happens is this. They make a contract with you. But really, you actually go to them asking for assistance. They're going to get you what you want, but you're going to have to agree to let them access your body for at least 20, 30, 40 years or 10 years. How many years they want to be able to coexist with you.
Okay, I have a question. If you give them your body, what do?
You don't give them your body, you let them enjoy it with you.
So in theory, you're possessed.
Right, but you agreed to be possessed in order to get that thing that you wanted them to do for you, like power, money, revenge, whatever it is. They gonna do it for you, but you are gonna have to let them coexist in your body.
So I have to play devil's advocate, right?
But Solomon, he didn't.
So I have to play devil's advocate, right? Because my thing is, if they offering all this shit to help us, how come God ain't counter offering it?
What do you mean?
Like the devils, you know what I'm saying? Like the demons, they lit, right? Hold on. Listen. So you know how the saying is, the devil ain't never gonna be evil. He gonna be your finest desires. He gonna be dipped in money. Like he just gonna be so reeking with temptation, specifically for your desires, right? So my thing is like, is it really bad to band up with the devil? Like
what I'm saying is this, right?
And I know that's horrible. Do you have a pen?
What I'm saying is this. God also give blessings. He gave David kingdoms. He gave Solomon wisdom and kingdoms. But do you ask the Most High?
I'm sorry, can you please give me a pen because I want to take notes about what we're talking about. Is this it? Okay, but see, okay, I got one then. Okay, like my thing is just like, I mean, I don't know, like, you know, like, in Christianity and a lot of religions, like, you know, they almost try to scare you from things that aren't always negative. Like, you know.
What I'm saying is this. Do you think God is not capable of giving you blessings and money and riches?
If he is, then why is the devil at my ear?
Because Satan is going to tell you to do this, serve him for those things.
So, but my thing is Satan really bad? Wasn't he an angel?
Satan told Jesus he'd give you the whole world if you bowed and served him. He said, "What profit a man to gain the world but to lose his soul?"
In theory.
See what I'm saying? God is not trying to take your soul. He's going to give you the blessings.
What do you mean? What do you mean you have to give your soul to Jesus when you get baptized?
Says who? He says you got to accept him as your Lord and Savior.
Exactly. As your Lord and Savior. That is my Lord. He is above me. I serve him.
I'm talking about the Most High, though.
But, I mean, that's who Christians Most High is. And that's what I'm saying. Like, what's the difference between him and the devil?
Well, I will tell you this. He's not promised you nothing, but
because
Jesus promised you eternal salvation.
He's flooded cities. God. They say God is a merciful God, but God has done a lot of fucked up shit.
I'm talking about the devil is promising you instant gratification and pleasure and satisfaction and riches, by Jesus offering you eternal life, something you're going to get after you die. So Satan is more desirable.
But check it out. What about the people that think heaven and hell is a state of mind?
That's ridiculous.
Is it?
Because you have to die. Where your mind is when you die, is it in heaven or hell?
It's a state of mind.
Someone when you're dead, do you have a state of mind? Can you measure?
Your soul leaves.
But
right?
Can you measure it though?
You can't measure God.
I'm saying, can you measure your mind and soul after you dead?
How would I know? I've never died.
So your frequency is going to go down. Like you got the machine. It's going to be a straight line.
Hold on. Why would your frequency go down? Because energy never dies.
But I'm saying you can't. But
energy never dies.
But you can't measure it outside the body though. You can measure it while it's in the body. But once you change over, there's no more measurement, so you don't know where it is. Like you can say, okay, right now I'm thinking good, I'm feeling good, so I'm in a state of bliss. Then tomorrow or next minute, you might actually have a manic situation, like manic depressive. You might feel good and then flip over. But that's just blowing with the wind. But once you dead, how do you know if you're in a state of bliss or in a state of pleasure or misery? Like, how do you know?
Because our mind never dies.
But you can't measure it after you're dead, though.
But how would you know, though?
See, it's a risk.
I think that you should.
It's a risk.
We need to watch the movie Interstellar together so we can pick apart. I feel like there are so many similarities in different religions. There's always like a main character. There's always a pilgrimage. You know what I'm saying? They always preaching some shit. They always helping some shit. And then they always fucking die. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is just everything's fucking similar. And my thing is Christianity is just a rip off the Egyptians.
But there's a truth though. Everybody has to die.
Christmas is just the winter solstice.
But everybody has to die. Everybody has to die. That's a truth.
But depending on your belief system, that matters on how you die.
But you got to die.
Don't you remember? Do you believe that? Don't you know how people say you have to accept Jesus? Otherwise, if you don't accept him when you die, you don't go to heaven, right?
Well, what happened with people that was around before Jesus? Where they go? Where did they go?
I mean, I don't know.
But they did die, though. They died. They definitely died. So you can't escape the reality of life and death. Children are going to be born. People are going to have sex, right? A man is going to have sex with a woman, and a baby is going to form. That baby is going to come into the world. It's going to be excruciating pain.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
And then,
I'm sorry. Can you fucking?
Then they're going to die.
I'm sorry. Can you put your Wi-Fi in? I mean, look. All I'm gonna say, but that's what I'm saying. It feels like we keep running around in circles. So there are so many different belief systems on what happens when you die. But what do you believe?
I believe the soul is eternal. I think you got to earn your way to the kingdom. I read a book.
But okay, no. I'm glad you said that. So if we have to earn our way in the kingdom, but you also said, in theory, after we fulfilled everything in our life, that's when we die, right? So what? So we've already earned our spot, right? Potentially, right?
It depends on what your purpose is. Some people's purpose is to be wicked and do dirt and to inspire those who's good. Like you have an antagonist, you have a protagonist. See, the protagonist and antagonist need each other.
Right. But I mean, honestly, like,
because I read in this book by Plato, The Republic, and Socrates. He talked about this story he got from ancient Turkey.
Right.
It was a soldier that died, but he was allowed to live.
Right.
He was allowed to see what happens after you die. He actually
Right.
documented what happened after you died.
Right.
He saw a situation in which there was many people,
Right.
and there was different openings. One opening went to hell, one opening went to heaven.
Right.
And they was there for 1,000 years. When they came out, if they was in heaven, they got so tired of heaven, they wanted to go to hell. See what I'm saying? When they was in hell, they were so tired of hell, they wanted to go to heaven. So they was going back and forth between doing good and evil. And then they was allowed to relive. They was allowed to be reincarnated back into life. And they was allowed to choose the life they had.
So I have a question, but isn't evil subjective?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like when you living in bliss and goodness for so long, you're gonna desire, you're gonna have a craving for evil.
Right.
So there's gotta be some type of equilibrium in the middle of that.
Honestly, I just think evil is like subjective. You know, like I said, like
It's perspective.
It's definitely perspective, but like
But
I
murder is real. When you can murdering people, regardless if it's good or evil, it's still murder. You can say, okay, I murdered the wicked.
So is no murder justified?
I would say
That's a better
killing
question.
is justified, but murder is always wicked.
But killing is murder. So I mean, come on, like
You could kill in self defense. But to murder is like being the aggressor.
So intentional murder is wrong, but self defense is okay.
Right.
Why?
Especially if you're actually fighting against evil.
But why? The same result you get. You kill someone.
But it's the principle behind it.
Is it the principle?
Now,
but see, my thing is
when you kill evil, you're actually doing good to the society. You say,
but evil is subjective.
When a person is an oppressor.
But evil is subjective. So my thing is, for instance, say like I hated everybody that didn't buy Starbucks coffee. So that's my perception. You know what I'm saying? I drink Starbucks.
But what if you hate everybody that's black and you want to kill them? Then what?
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so let's put it on a bigger scale.
In order for us to protect the blacks, we got to get rid of you. See what I'm saying? So if we get rid of you, then we're gonna do good to all these blacks that you trying to annihilate.
But what about my family? If I'm a racist, like what about you're still murdering someone. My thing is like I don't feel like that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't feel like the reason behind it changes the actual result. Like you still kill somebody. So like even though you could stand up in front of the judge and be like it was either me or him. You know what I'm saying? But you still get charged with manslaughter.
Mortal Kombat, like a showdown, then that's righteous. So if you fought 1-on-1 to the death and you actually won, then
yeah, but
in this situation you got an AK-47.
Oh, I think that's my guy.
Gotta make sure.
No, I mean I'm pretty sure that's him. Hold on, let me cut it off there. I'll be back. I'm pretty sure that's him. Come on, there's no one else. Like, come on, that's him. Is everything okay? Why are you guys acting weird? What's going on? Do you never have visitors? It's him. Just, if it's not, back like that. He's outside. Okay. Yeah, he's outside. Hello, Darrell. This is Maran Fatine. Okay, okay, come on, let's finish this and stuff. So I gotta turn it back on. Okay, I'm sorry, we had something really quick. Okay, so basically, so what were we talking about?
We was talking about the difference between murder and killing.
Okay, right.
Right.
Okay. My thing is, I do think evil is subjective. So he believes that.
You gotta get him a chair.
Okay. I'm sorry. Hey, Birdie, here. Come up here.
Get him a chair.
Okay, we're almost done. Government supervision. Can I put my stuff on your printer, please? It's okay. It's okay. Please stop sending me info. Okay, can you just over here? Because I want to wrap this up, please. Anyway, sorry. Having some technical difficulties. So yeah, look out for me, you know what I'm saying?
That's it right here.
Yeah, like, you know. Okay. Okay, moving on. Like, my thing is, like, a lot of people do have different beliefs on spirituality and like what happens in the afterlife. So, you know, depending on your religion and your background and just like different factors, you know, that all makes up your idea, bro.
It's good. It's still talking.
Oh, that all makes up your idea of like what happens to you in the afterlife. So, you know, mind you, like what you believe can either soften the blow or, you know, just, you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, but I say this though, it has to be some type of truth, objective truth to it, regardless of how you believe, because you know you're gonna have to die.
Yeah.
But where do you go depending on how you believe? But I would say this: it has to be a certain destination to that. Some people believe there's nothing. Some people believe there is something.
I just
but
don't
it has
believe...
to be some truth to whatever it is that happens. It has to be a destination.
I can't walk around.
It has to be.
I refuse to walk around life believing
because
that.
You believe that everybody have a different reality that happens based on how they believe.
I think I believe that. Hold on. That's literally how I live my life. Literally.
Based on how you believe,
yes,
that's going to determine what's going to happen after you die.
Thoughts become things. People with different mental capacities can literally move through the world differently.
If you're an atheist, you're going to go into believing. You're going to become nothing.
Oh, that's such an extremist opinion.
But I'm saying, like, say you was an atheist, you believed that your whole life, and then you died and you realized there was a God and there was a hereafter. Yeah, how you going to feel?
Atheists are not like...
Do they get
atheists
converted?
Do not believe in God. They just don't believe in, like, religion.
They don't believe in the hereafter. They don't believe nothing is hereafter they die. Like the 5%ers. They don't believe there's a hereafter. They believe this is it. So I will say this. Say, for instance, you was a 5%er, you was an earth, right? And you died. And you really, you found out there was actually a hereafter and there was a God and there was a supreme being and a hierarchy. Do you become converted or are you going to go against that?
Well,
see what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't think I could ever be converted unless it really set.
But true conversion though. If you just was,
but truth is also subjective.
But I'm saying, like, if you was,
could be because that's like asking.
If you was exposed to something that you could not deny.
Like what?
I'm saying, like, you say, believe you didn't
Show
believe.
me a burning bush
I'm
right
saying,
now. In
after you die, though. I'm saying after you die, the only witness is you.
So okay. So
it's like Paul was on the horse.
Okay.
He witnessed the Most High. He witnessed Jesus. He was blinded. He was the only witness to that.
Can we talk about Islam? Forget Christianity. Okay.
It's the same thing.
Is it okay? You believe in Islam, so like, why? So let's move away from Christianity, because like I said, a lot of religions literally have the same main character, the same story plot, the same pilgrimage.
So I'm saying, like, when you
let's talk about Muhammad.
When you face with the truth, though.
But truth is also subjective.
See, truth is death. Now,
oh my God.
When a person died, they're the witness to what happens after they die. They're the witness.
And we don't have anybody to come back to tell us what happens.
You got people that channel, or they got people that communicate with familiar spirits.
Mediums, mediums and psychics.
Now, the fact that they could do that, meaning that it must be something after death. Because if it wasn't, you wouldn't be able to communicate with nothing.
Man, if there wasn't an afterlife and we couldn't pray to our ancestors and still feel their energy,
I'm talking about communication.
That is communication.
Like you have a dream and you talking to somebody that you know is dead and you talking to them.
Okay,
see what I'm saying?
That's the same thing. Like I just said, communicating with our ancestors.
Right.
Like,
so it must be something after that.
That's what I'm saying. There has to be something in the afterlife, like regardless of what we believe.
It must be an afterlife. It must literally be an afterlife.
But like my questions are the route to this afterlife. Like, do you actually have to accept Jesus in your life to actually go to heaven? And that's what I'm saying. Like why do people who believe in religion think that God is so picky?
It goes back to this, right?
But why is God so picky if He created all of us?
It goes back to this. We talked about this earlier. Like we say, why do good people die young?
Right.
We came to the conclusion that when they reach their pinnacle of goodness, perfection, or if they did so much and they can do no more good, it's best to die at that particular point because they become an ideal. So it's like, okay, Jesus was the most perfect person to ever live.
Right.
Who else should you accept than a person that did no sins, did no evil? See what I'm saying? Who else is there a choice? There's no other choice. In order for you to get to that point, you got to be like this guy right here.
But that's what I'm saying. Like in Christianity,
he became like
Christianity, the main concept is to be more like Jesus.
Right.
To be a servant to Him.
I'm not saying being a servant.
You have to accept Him as your Lord and Savior. That is servant. That
is servant right there. But I'm saying like what He said, you just got to follow Him.
Okay, well the devil hands out deals, and again I'm gonna bring it back up. I'm gonna bring it back up. Instant gratification, because a lot of people believe that heaven and hell is a state of mind, and like a lot of people associate like satanic and Satanism with negative things. And honestly, say Satanism, a lot of people need to read their Bible because they actually legit. They trill.
Pleasure with physical.
And my thing is, they're against rape. They're against incest. You literally have to just treat people, with respect.
But I would say this.
Christianity endorses slavery, incest, and rape.
I would say this though. You say it's a state of mind, but it's outside a state of mind. Or are you really there?
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Everything is a fixation of your mind. Like everything, is. But the flesh gotta dwell.
The flesh gotta dwell somewhere.
I mean,
is this flesh dwelling in your own mind, or is it outside the mind? You can perceive it a certain way. Okay, it might be a good situation, bad situation, but
every
objectively, it's something going on. It's cold, hot. The sun is shining. It's some reality.
No, that's true. Of course, but my thing is like, we circling back. Like, every individual's perception is their reality. Because remember, you asked me, so do you think everybody's life is set up differently based on how they think? I do.
That's subjective, though. But outside
it's not subjective. It's not subjective because if it wasn't, then all of our lives would be uniform.
But it's based on your mentality. It's based on
exactly. But you're proving me right.
But you got to look at beyond your own mentality. You got to say, okay, forget that. What's really going on?
How do you know I don't understand?
You got oxygen. Oxygen is in this room.
Because we have trees
outside. If it wasn't
outside.
for oxygen in this room, we'd be smashed together. The only thing separating us is oxygen. Oxygen is like water. See what I'm saying?
Well, I can't really confirm that because I'm not huge on physics.
It's metal. Somebody had to form this metal. See what I'm saying? All this stuff had to be manufactured.
But my thing is,
and put together in a sequence to make this room.
My thing is, even if you trip on LSD, you can literally see the dimensional patterns. You can see the. It's a design hold on. Let me tell you. You can see the individual vibrations in literally everything. You can see how everything is made up. So therefore, when you trip on LSD, and LSD has been used in test studies, so you don't have to look at me like I'm a drug addict. It literally changed. You literally dive so deep into the vortex.
You just see truth.
Yes, you see people's auras. You see their energy. Like everything is energy. You see people's energy fields. It's amazing. Like the first time you take acid, you literally can just sit in the fucking bathroom and trip for hours.
But you don't have to take acid to see truth. You just look at things. You look at things objectively. You put your emotions to the side. Put your own perspective to the side.
I think you got to be a monk or something.
Look at truth for what it is.
Like I said, monks can literally can literally burn things with their mind. People can burn. So explain to me how people can burn spoons. Bend spoons.
They must have tapped into a higher element of their own mindset.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We have the capacity to do those. Those amazing things.
I'm saying, regardless of what you could do.
So why aren't we God?
Regardless of what you could do, this flesh is going to die if your heart stops pumping. Your liver stops working.
Because we're humans. But that's our species. But that's our species.
This flesh is going to
But that's our species.
This is going to decompose.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. And if the glaciers melt, the polar bears are going to die too.
In order for you to make this
that's natural selection.
In order for you to make this flesh last longer, you got to somehow keep your organs in efficient, tip-top condition.
Well, that's why I take care of my diet.
You got to keep these organs working because once these organs shut down, the body is going to cease to work.
I know. We only get one body. But mind you,
see what I'm saying?
But hold on. Once again, I'm circling back to mentality. If your mind is not good, if your mind is not sound, then your body would fall apart too because your nervous system controls your body. Decisions. Yeah, exactly. You are going to make bad decisions. That's what I'm saying. That's
Your
why
choices.
I think, yes, you're true.
You know, my mother told me about Islam. She say,
Was your mother Muslim?
yeah, she was in the original nation. She say this, right? She say,
Okay.
she
Islam
say,
and is
she
out.
say the punishment is in the act itself. People say, okay, you're gonna get punished for doing this. But she said, when you smoke, your lungs gonna clog up.
You don't think that's karma?
And it's gonna be like when you smoking, you really clogging your lungs up. So
Hey, Perk,
you
you
ain't
got
gotta
about 10 minutes.
you ain't gotta be punished.
Hey, we're at 45 minutes, so I gave you way more. But okay.
She say the punishment is gonna happen regardless of how you feel.
What that sounds like karma.
Whatever you do.
Is that not karma?
But I'm saying, like, when you look at it, like, okay, person destroying their lungs and destroying their liver back over drinking, they ain't gotta wait on a God to punish them. You punishing yourself.
We have free will.
But you punishing yourself when you do these activities.
No, that's self-destructive behavior.
Exactly, self-destructive
But just because
behavior.
I have a drink doesn't mean I'm self-destructive.
Like when you overdoing it, like 10, 20 drinks a day.
Yeah, you're right. But, I mean, again, that's free will.
You're going to start seeing the flesh, the skin starts wrinkling up,
Right.
turning colors.
Right. Okay.
It's because of that activity.
Well, let's stay on the subject. We're with the afterlife. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, like with a proper diet and like that, you're supposed to do everything in moderation, honey. So
It's the same principle though with the afterlife. Like people could have whatever philosophy they want, but it's still a truth to after you die. Something's going to happen to everybody that when they die, they're going to see the same
I'm not
thing.
disputing that.
Either you're going to see nothing or you're going to see something. And if the fact that you communicate with spirits, meaning that something must have went down.
So why do good people die young? That's what we're going to end up.
Because I think the reason they die young is because that was the best way to die when they did the good. You know, it's best to die good than to die evil.
So, viewers, he believes that, you know, after you have fulfilled your purpose in life and you have exhausted, you know, you contribute to society, you know, he feels like God, you know, needs you somewhere else.
The next step is to die.
Yeah, so.
See what I'm saying?
I
think the reason people don't do good, they must have figured that out. So they want to live as long as they can. But when you live long, you end up with these raggedy looking bodies, though. Why would you want them raggedy looking bodies?
You talking about seniors?
Old bodies, wrinkled up, can't move, can't jump, can't do anything. So why would you want to die that way? You might as well die in your prime.
Can you imagine?
You're strong, healthy.
Can you imagine all the knowledge?
Unless.
Hold on, listen. Can I talk? It's my turn for the floor. Can you imagine all the knowledge older people have? And you think that just because their physical bodies have deteriorated, that their mind isn't valuable?
I think their choices made their bodies deteriorate now.
How? I've seen some fit-ass 92-year-olds.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you actually kept your body on point, you might actually still have a young body, and you might be 100 years old.
Yes, but that's where I died.
They could have been making the bright choices, keeping their bodies on point.
I think we're getting off.
They wouldn't have these raggedy, wrinkly, shriveled up bodies when they get 30 or when they get 80 years old. I don't think that's even.
I don't think you
necessary.
Can prevent that. I think that's life. That's biology. We're all going to get old.
I think you could actually keep your body on point with your decisions.
Okay.
See, every decision is important.
Regardless, you still get older. You're still going to wrinkle, regardless. That's biology.
That's to be determined.
Okay.
You got people that's like Halle Berry. She's in the 40s. She look young as hell.
She black. Black don't crack. Beyonce look good.
Some black people get real old too. It ain't like universal. I think it's based on your mindset.
It depends on your
how you live, how you eat.
It depends on you. Actually, that's what I'm saying. Like, it just depends.
You ain't gotta have a wrinkly, old, shriveled up body when you get 90. But if you get 90, but why would you want to get 90 though? Why would you want to live in this hell for 90 years? You know what I'm saying?
But why are you calling that hell?
This is Earth is hell.
So then, if Earth is hell,
if
Earth is hell, you just contradicted yourself, and you are saying that hell and heaven are states of mind. If Earth is hell,
no, it's a reality. It's physical.
Our reality is based off our perception in our mind.
This really is hell. America's America. I'm not gonna say America, but the whole planet Earth. That's why you die, to escape hell. Cause see, the thing is, the only good thing about life is it ends. You're not gonna be in Earth forever. So if you from your perspective, if you was a person with billions of dollars, you're gonna try to get as many hearts as you can. You're gonna kill people, take their hearts, keep these organs going because you live in a heaven. But if you was a person suffering, you trying to get up off this planet. People trying to commit suicide.
Okay, can we wrap it up? I'm getting sad, bro. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
But yeah, close it.
Okay, well, like I said, I was going through a lot of deaths, and I really wanted to use this as an outlet to talk about my feelings before I went out and tried to get my mind off of it. And this is my grandfather's book. I also use my grandmother's Bible. So she gifted this to me. This is, a generational Bible. She was Jehovah's Witness, and I don't know what version that is, the
New World Translation.
But I use metaphysical meditation. So, like I said, I believe in energy, and I believe in like the metaphysical parts of life. I'm not really religion based, but I am educated in a lot of different religions. That's why, I took humanities, and so.
Read that.
So he asked me to read one of the meditations. Okay, I hope you're not trying to debunk my granddaddy book though.
It's good.
Anyway, this is a meditation. It's called My Offering to Thee. Each morning I offer my body, my mind, and any ability I possess to be used by Thee, O infinite Creator, in whatever way Thou dost choose to express Thyself through me. I know that all work is Thy work, and that no task is too difficult or too menial when offered to Thee in loving service. So that's just one, of the many meditational, things that I use. This book is very beautiful. It's by Paramahansa Yogananda. So I've had this book since I was a child. I never lost it. I hold it. So I'll read one more meditation before I get off. It's called Expanding Love. It says meditate, dwell on, and feel this. That's how powerful this book is, right? Because my granddad, he was a Choctaw Indian, and so Choctaw Native American, and he owned land in Oklahoma, and it was passed down to my mother, and so all my uncles and aunts own a piece of that land, and I do hope to inherit it one day and do something really nice. And so this is the prayer I'm going to leave off of. My kingdom of love shall expand. I have loved my body more than anything else. That is why I am identified with and limited by it. With the love I have given to the body, I will love all those who love me. With the expanded love of those who love me, I will love those who are mine. With the love for myself and the love for my own, I will love those who are strangers. I will use all of my love to love those who do not love me, as well as those who love me. I will bathe all my souls in my unselfish love. In the sea of my love, my family members, my countrymen, all nations and all beings will swim. All creations, how do you pronounce this word? Myriads. All the myriads of tiny living things will dance on the waves of my love. I saturate myself with the perfume of Thy presence, and I wait to waft with the breeze of the aroma of Thy message of love to all. And see, my thing is, like, these prayers are so powerful and so beautiful. I really use it only when I'm meditating, and when I feel like life is kind of hitting me hard. So I'm gonna have to pull up my book today and read some biblical scriptures, because even though I'm not a Christian or a Jehovah's Witness, I think those books are very inspirational. I think they're beautiful fairy tales. And if that offends you, that's okay. Everybody doesn't have to be a Christian.
Life is a fairy tale.
Right. Like, we went over so many different spectrums of spirituality.
Tell people what you went through, they ain't gonna believe.
Huh?
Tell people what you went through, they ain't gonna believe.
What did I go through?
Whatever you went through in your life, nobody's gonna believe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
who's gonna believe the things that you actually witnessed? So everything's a fairy tale.
Yeah, because ain't nobody really there but you. That's why it's so important to have yourself centered and your belief systems intact, because it really helps. Like, life is. Hold on, let me finish. Let me say it, because it's gonna be rough. Life is. I was always taught life is 95% of what happens. No, life is 5% what happens to you and 95% of how you react. So I'm going to leave off on that. Again, my name is Divine Boykins, and I'm a published writer. I'm a poet. I recently took a hiatus from performing at Spit That in DC, and I actually just got introduced by a musician at a Christmas party, a strategy on how to do like a 3-chord songs to my poems again. I might just be totally vulnerable. I don't have full mobility of my left hand because I was in a traumatic accident in 2013, and so I stopped performing then, and so now I have a lot of hope that I will have an outlet. I've been very angry. I couldn't get a job. My off-season landscape job I really thought I was going to have a job before, my job ended. So I wasn't going to have a break. And I blew my savings. And, it was really tough. A lot of people were treating me differently. So I noticed that. And, I just stuck it out. I kept, applying to Indeed and LinkedIn every day. And, the job market just wasn't biting. So for the last resort, I was like, fuck it, Let me just tell everybody I'm struggling. I can't find a job. I hate being vulnerable on my social media unless it's for prayer. So I did, and people was basically, like I said, if anybody got any CDL jobs, food industry jobs, youth mentoring, fucking secretarial, please hit me up, right? So my friend Maritha literally hit me up, said I could have her old route, plug me right in. I'm going on Monday, and then, I had applied to this other venue for months, and, it was one of the popular venues in Chicago. They finally hit me back, and I found out that I actually know the manager, so it all works. And so my life was changing back to positive overnight, and I was so ecstatic, and I've been having the best day. And then my mom called me and said my aunt had passed, so it's really hard for me to be happy for me. When I know she's gone. So she was on like 30 something, and she was so nice. So it really hurts me to see her go. So I thought this would be a wonderful outlet to talk about. So you can end it off.
Yeah. I'm a writer, poet, Marwan. I'm done.
Oh, you can follow me at Ooh Divine got cheeks at D-Boy Solo on Twitter. My Instagram is ain't no underscore, it's just Divine Susej. My middle name is Jesus backwards, so it's DIVINE SUSEJ. And then my Facebook is Divine Auntie Boykins. So peace.